into the postseason, do you have a favorite right now?
Well, Kevin, like anyone, I definitely have some ideas of who I think could be there and the last one standing. But I'm staying neutral. Number one, it's my job, and predictions only lead to the possibility I'm wrong, and I don't want to do that.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. Anunoby out there with Hart. Then there's Towns. Then it's Mikal Bridges. And it's Brunson in at the point guard position.
Guard him big, guard him small. Julius Randle is so crafty on the interior, it matters not. He's going to finish.
Now here's Brunson, averaging 26 points a game, night in and night out, always a factor. New York moving it around. Bridges misses. Hey, Gregson's getting traded in 2023. Mikal Bridges' scoring numbers have exploded.
Yeah, Bridges, the main piece of that deal, sending Kevin Durant to the Suns. Mikal scored 26 a game down the stretch for Brooklyn that year, taking his game to another level.
The Knicks making a switch here. Achua's checked in. And just about a minute into the first quarter. Brunson, good.
That's business right there. Jalen Brunson, the catch, shoot, and on to the next play.
And it's Conley with the ball for Minnesota. They beat the Knicks during their last encounter in New York.
And the last time these two met, they were able to get a big win because of that bench production. Second unit might be a factor in this one as well.
Certainly something to keep an eye on. We'll see how the rotations go this time out. Every night it seems to be different.
Now Bridges, following the miss by Michael Conley from deep. Hart against McDaniel. Hart, no good. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. And the basket by Edwards.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards in the painted area is going to be a force. Size, strength, and hops. Look out.
Brunson against Conley. Brunson kicks to Bridges. Towns a screen on Edwards.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. We've got Miles McBride. Achua is out there with Bridges. Then it's Mitchell Robinson. And it's Payne in at the point guard. Now here is Miller. Reed the pass to DiVincenzo. Beyond the arc. Drains it from beyond the arc. DiVincenzo's got the lead up to 2 now for the Timberwolves.
And the lead should be safe if they can keep shooting the basketball like this.
Doris, the way this Knicks roster was put together, they have a great level of physicality.
Kevin, if you think about it, with the way the rules are starting to trend back toward that level of physicality, they've got an opportunity to be successful. They also have a big-time star in Jalen Brunson, so there's a lot to like about the future.
Here's Alexander Walker. Had a tough time getting going against the Thunder. He was a non-factor in that game. Pass to DiVincenzo. Over Payne. And stolen by Payne. McBride passes to Robinson. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He wants to talk to his guys. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And defensively in that one, they needed to come up with big stops to quiet that crowd, and that's obviously easier said than done.
I'll tell you this, it looked like they wanted to get out of town as quickly as possible. The problem is their defense went with them.
Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Reed. Randle comes in for Miller. McDaniels, he's checked in for Alexander Walker. And it's Mike Conley in for Edwards. And then for New York, Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Achua. OG Anunoby comes in for Bridges, and it's Jalen Brunson in for Payne. Anunoby, no good. McDaniels finds Conley to the paint. DiVincenzo with it. Randle outside. Takes a three. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. It's the Knicks leading by just 2. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
Hello, everybody. We'll break down the action shortly, but first, a glance at how the Eastern Conference standings are stacking up.
You look at New York. They're right where they want to be, and they're right where they should be. Now it's a matter of getting everything in place for the title run. These guys will be tough to beat in a 7-game series.
Now let's change gears back to the New York Knicks, who find themselves in a tightly contested ballgame.
They've been choosy when
And that is it for halftime, folks. It is back to Kevin.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. And Greg, you think about what they call float game. Why does that one shot earn a nickname like that?
I mean, it's a badge of respect, right? The floaters, teardrops, whatever you call them, runners, often the finishing touch to an already well-developed offensive arsenal.
Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Randle out there with Gobert, and it's Conley in at the 1. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Here's McDaniels. Jalen Brunson picking up that last basket. Randle against Hart. Out to Conley. Just 5 to shoot. Off target with his 3. The Knicks leading by 4. The ultimate glue player, Josh Hart. Doris, he plays way bigger than his listed 6'4" height.
I'm going to be honest with you, Kevin. This is the best rebounding guard I've ever seen in my career covering the NBA. Let's remember he won a national title in college. He's willing to do absolutely anything to help his team win. You want this guy on your side.
Now Edwards. After Jalen Brunson missing on that last 3-pointer. Pass to Randle. Out to Conley. There's the 3, and he's good on the 3-ball. Conley's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Edwards against Bridges. Anunoby outside. Hart finds Brunson. Tries again. Oh, Brunson wheeling his way in there.
Generously listed as 6'1", Jalen Brunson knows his way around the inside and painted area. Look out.
Edwards can't hit. Brunson, left side. And the last-second attempt doesn't fall. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. Knicks lead by 3. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the 4th quarter. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
You love the unselfishness, finding the best look, and it doesn't matter who's taking it.
We've reached the 4th quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Bridges out there with Jalen Brunson. Then it's OG Anunoby. Then it's Josh Hart. And it's Towns in at the center position. For 3, Bridges, and rebounded by McDaniels. Timberwolves trail by 3. Over in the corner, Conley. Spins. Can't convert off the spin.
Great move on his way to the bucket there. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Bridges kicks to Brunson. Outworking the defense. Again, Brunson.
Now, this is what makes Jalen Brunson special. You've got to knock down contested shots. Mr. Brunson up to the task.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Hey, guys, I listened in on what Chris Finch was talking about with his players. He begged his players to keep it simple out there. He told them one possession at a time. Don't look at the scoreboard. What's most important is running our plays and being aggressive defensively. See if they can follow that game plan, guys.
All right, David, thanks. Brunson against Conley. Brunson, no good. Here's Minnesota. They trail by 3. Edwards. It's in! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
And that one sends the bench into a frenzy.
I'll tell you, these guys have worked so hard together. Everyone pulling in the same direction. Beautiful to watch. Jalen Brunson wants the ball in these moments, and there he shows you why. Big-time shot.
Can't afford any wasted possessions down the stretch.
I'll tell you, they'd better come up with some points on every possession from now on.
We've got 28 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And Edwards slams it in.
And the more experience Edwards gets, the better he'll become, especially when he's stepping up and hitting the big shots.
And that's an intentional foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
And he commits the intentional foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul. 2 shots. Jalen Brunson.
He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. And Randall has got the ball here for the Timberwolves. Pass to Edwards. To tie it up. Good! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
We know this about Anthony Edwards. He is fearless in these moments. That's a big-time clutch delivery.
There's 10 seconds left in the fourth. Brunson outside. Over Conley. Missed.
And that's just terrific positioning on his part to get that board. I mean, he might not have the size, but his basketball IQ
and that's going to do it for regulation. So we are headed to overtime. From Target Center, back in a moment. These teams have battled tooth and nail for 4 quarters, and now we head to overtime. Should be a blast. Conley and Edwards are the guards. Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's McDaniels at the small forward position.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Bridges passes to Brunson. Hart, wide open. He fires. Buries it from outside.
Yeah, Josh Hart starting to show people, I can knock down a three-point shot. You better guard me.
So it's the Timberwolves now. Here's Edwards. It's rebounded by Anunoby.
I think this is a spot he has got to become more consistent from if you want to command the defender's respect.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Brunson. 6 on the shot clock. It doesn't go for him. Good work defensively by Conley. And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. And he knows there's no room for mistakes and wants everyone on the same page. Any ideas on strategy being discussed right now in that huddle?
And it's do or die time. They need a bucket here to stay alive.
And it's either got to be a three-pointer or a score quickly and take the foul.
And no secret here, guys. They've got to get a 3 if we're going to get yet another overtime.
And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
They had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And the timeout called here by Tom Thibodeau. This is a huge moment, folks, in this game. And he wants to be prepared. And so they foul intentionally.
Second personal foul. Second team foul. 2 shots. Jalen Brunson.
First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game.
Well, what a performer this guy is. Game is on the line. He stands up and delivers.
So it's New York picking up the win. They escaped with a victory, although they needed an extra period to get it done.
Yeah, but what a great game. I mean, both teams, I felt like, gave it their all. But when it came to OT, it was just all about sheer determination on their part.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now we present